Alright guys, this is the video for all of you that have downloaded the program. So it's for general fitness for you adults. I'm going to show you how VBT can help maximize results and keep you safe. Here are the things we're going to go over: key definitions and abbreviations, how the program fits together to maximize results, and cover the various aspects of physical fitness and how to use the VBT with, or how to use this program with VBT or without it. So then we'll also go over some of the uncommon exercises. Day 1, 50% of body weight. Here's the first day. It's a clean or trap bar jump, whichever one. And this BWT means percentages of body weight. So 50% of body weight for 3, 75 for 3, 90% for 2. And you can either use peak velocity or you can use peak power. It's up to you, whichever one. It's the same thing. But if you just want to know how much power it is, use power. But if you're using the same load and you're going faster and faster, your power's going up. So it's up to you which one you want to use. Then 4 sets of 10 on this next one. Notice, by the way, 2A, 2B, that means those two are superset. 3A, 3B, those two are superset, meaning you'll do that exercise, the RDL, then you'll go right and do the calf raise for the first set, then back to that exercise for set 2, then that one, set 2, and so forth. So 4 sets of 10 on this squat. You're going to do 4 by 10 at 60%. That's going to happen at 0.85 meters per second. I recommend if that drops below, that's in your first 2 to 3 reps. Obviously, they'll get slower, but I use the first 2 to 3 reps because that's much more repeatable. But if it drops below more than 10%, which is like 0.76, choose to cut the whole thing. I would. Or you can decrease the load by 5 to 10%. It's up to you. Prisoner squat jumps, I definitely want you doing some jumping. However, that's going to happen at 8 to 9 RPE the first week because I want you to ease into things, which means you're going to kind of go hard, but not all out. Rate of perceived exertion, this is just a reminder in case you didn't know. 10 RPE maximum, 9.5 means I could have added a little weight, but I couldn't have done another rep. 9 RPE means I could have done one more, and so forth. 8.5, maybe I could have done 2 more. 8 for sure I could. It's as simple as that. You can choose to use RPE, or you can choose to use velocity, or you can choose to use the percentages that I've got. It's up to you. Or you can look at how they're related. That's what I want to get across. So what does this mean? A 10 RM at 7 RPE for 3 by 10 velocity loss. So this is in reference to the hack squat. It's going to mean I'm going to work up to something I can do 10 times, which is going to be at a 7 RPE, something I could have done for 13, for 3 more. And I'm going to make sure that velocity loss stays at no more than 40% for the fastest first couple reps to the final reps. If it goes more than that, I'm going to cut it. So because I don't want to go more than 40% because it's the week 1. I'll slowly progress that as you go. Progressive overload. I don't want to fatigue you too soon. Ease into things, right? So here's me doing some jumps. This is me doing 205. This is my body weight, and here I get almost. But there I get above 1. And that's mean, so that's good. That's well above that in peak velocity. Day 2, we're supersetting the bench press with explosive cable wood choppers. The 4x8, we're going to go over this explosive wood choppers first. We're going to do 25% of your body weight for 4 sets of 8 on each side. If you can measure it, great. If you can't, just go as hard as you can. But soon, we're going to come out with this partnership with Anchor where it can be measured, and so you're going to love that. So here's the explosive wood chopper. I'll give you a few examples. So 25% will probably be a little bit more explosive than that. And so anyway, now here's the big one. What in the world is 5 rep max at 8 RPE at 80% for 80% at 0.4 meters per second? What does that mean? That means work up to a 5 rep max at an 8 RPE. Something you could have done 2 more times. We just went over that. That's going to happen statistically at about 80% based on my research. 80% will be about 0.4 meters per second on this first couple of reps. So you can just use velocity if you want to, and just do your warm ups for 2 to 3 reps. And when you get close to that 0.4 meters per second, that's your 5. So you do 5. That's your 5 rep max at 80%. Your first couple is at 0.4 meters per second. Then I'm going to subtract 10%, and we're going to do 2 down sets. But here it gets a little tricky. On the first down set of 5, which will, if you've done 80%, That's going to be about 70%, which is going to be about 0.53 meters per second on this first couple reps. But on this, and so we're looking to really maximize that. So by having that target it's going to encourage me to have compensatory acceleration. I'm going to push as hard as I can, which is going to maximize results. See down here. So compensatory acceleration is what Fred Hatfield made popular, and that's going to recruit all those big high threshold motor units, and you're going to maximize your strength and your hypertrophy and all kinds of neuromuscular adaptations. So you can't go wrong by that. On the final set, though, we're going to go all out, as many reps as possible, leaving one rep in reserve because I don't want to crush you. I don't go to complete failure because I want fatigue, and I want to create some adaptations without going too far to where you can't recover. So that's going to happen at about a velocity loss of 55%. So you can use, if you're using GymAware, the RS or GymAware, the flexion, you can track it on both of those. There you have it. Explained in detail. Once again, you see a little error there. These two are supersetted, these two are supersetted, and so are these, but it should be 3A and 3B. My bad. Notice too, we're getting in all the vectors. So you got some rotation happening. You're getting horizontal strength. Here you're getting somewhere in between vertical and horizontal because it's inclined. Here we're getting horizontal. That is vertical. So this is lateral but horizontal. There you go. All the vectors. Here we go. Day 2, day 3. Day 2 continued and day 3. 3 by 8 at 7 to 8 RPE at 70 to 74%, 0.9. This is talking about the rows happening right there. Once again, we're going to work up to 3 sets of 8 reps. That's at 7. So we're going to start. The first set should be around 7 RPE. We're going to slowly work up as we superset to the final is about 8 RPE. Something I could have done 2 more times. And statistically, that first set is going to be about 70%. The third set is going to be about 74% of your 1RM. And that's going to happen. The first set will be about 0.95 meters per second in the first few reps. The final one will be 0.91. So choose to use whatever. You can use all of it just so you can understand intent. You can use just percentages. You can use just RPE. Or you can use velocity. Make it super easy and simple. The reason velocity takes the subjectivity out of it is just you're doing the right thing, and it makes the workout go by faster as well. So there you go. And I want you to look at the way a good reverse hyper is done as well. Let's see this.
This is one of the best movements to build the lower back, glutes, and hams that most people do incorrectly.
See what they're doing. See what she's doing. I want you to see right here how she's holding on to the handle. She's going to be pulling down, anchoring with the lats, that torso, so it's not moving. Too many people will hyperextend at the cervical and the thoracic spine. I don't recommend it. I recommend staying really neutral and locked in so you can really focus on extending at the hips. So you're going to get the glutes, the hamstrings, and even the calves because, way down here is where the focal point is. So anyway, that was straight from Stuart McGill. I know Louis Simmons didn't necessarily teach it, but in my opinion, the best way to do it to get the most results without worrying about getting hurt, I'd recommend that. So now, doing a hang clean or a hang trap bar jump. The reason you're doing that is because you're in that starting strength speed zone because it should be super fast. However, let's see what this one was at. 1.13. That was more in that speed strength, but you're overcoming that deceleration. Really, it's just the negative acceleration into the positive acceleration, that amortization phase. Your ability to overcome that is going to be important to overcoming inertia. Same thing, right? Body's either going to stay in rest or stay in motion unless acted on by another force. There you go. All right, day 4, you guys. Military press, supersetted with banded face pulls. Here we got some hypertrophy. Once again, now we got vertical strength and hypertrophy happening. Once again, compensatory acceleration. See how we have the 5 RM at 8 RPE for that. Then negative 10%, same thing. This is one of the ways that I monitor fatigue is I keep my warm ups the same. So right here I can like on this one I can I'll probably normally go with like 115, 135, 155, and if those velocities are slower than 10% of normal, I would have cut the whole thing, or I'll do something very light and go home. If they're 0 to 5% slower than normal, it's just part of it. If it's between 5 and 10% slower than normal, what I'll do is take the whole day and subtract 20% from the volume and intensity, get some work in, and go home. So I just don't want to crush myself because I want to keep working out, and I want to be able to play with my kids, and I don't want it to affect my sleep. So you got to be smart. That's why VBT is so awesome. Also, the arm superset. If you want to get jacked arms, do this. So what you're doing is this is that 4. It should be, once again, that should be just 3. It shouldn't have a number at all, but it is a superset. But I wrote it all together instead of doing it like this. So this is 2A, 2B, 2C. That's like a giant set. You do that one, then that one, then that one. But the superset is doing dumbbell line tricep extensions. Think about having dumbbells. You might have heard of skull crushers, but you're just going to do line on your back, prone, supine on the spine, I call it. So you're lying on your back, and you're going to do that for 6 reps. Then you're going to do a cable or band push downs for 10. And then you're going to superset it with bicep curls. I don't care if you do standing dumbbell bicep curls, standing barbell, or you can even do preacher curls. Just do a bicep curl for 8. You're going to do 4 to 5 sets of that rep scheme, and each of those are going to start out at 8 RPE, and I want the final set to be at all out. So we're going to get a good pump here. Why? Because it's your arms. You can recover from it. Yeah, you get a little sore, but it's just your arms. It's your peripheral, and that you can overcome a little fatigue from the peripheral joints. So yes, do that, and you're going to love it because you're going to get a great pump. So I already showed you fatigue management. This is the way I want you to do dumbbell power cleans. It's more about getting external rotation than anything. You're not going to do it like a real power clean. This is Joe DeFranco, and this is the way Louis Simmons has taught us. Shrug up, elbows go high, external rotation. See how high the dumbbells end up? So, there you go. So things that we're covering in this program, we're going to hit all the vectors. I've kind of gone over that. So we're going to make sure that we're getting vertical forces, horizontal forces, lateral, side to side, and rotational, and a combination of all of that. We're getting speed, we're getting power, we're getting strength. So we're getting hypertrophy. We're getting all the things because we want to be overall healthy. Yes, I want to add muscle because I don't want it to atrophy or get sarcopenia. I want to grow, and as I age, I want to still have muscle. I still want to be fast, and I still want to be powerful, because with that becomes that when you're working things that involve the neural system and the muscular / neuromuscular, that's good. You get the brain working. There's a lot of good studies that will say strength training will help you with cognitive abilities as well. And I agree. And I watch it in my kids. If they work out, they do much better in school. Strength, also do some, make sure we get some unilateral work, bilateral work. We get all the stuff. So, sorry. Come on. There we go. Also, things covered. Minimum velocity thresholds and safe velocity recommendations. Definitely have that going on. This chart has all of it. It shows the minimum velocity thresholds for the squat, the bench, the deadlift, for 1 RMs, all the way down to 2 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, 4 rep, all of it. So there you have it, guys. Also have the percentages, how RIR fits in, how RPE fits in. This brings it all together for you. So study this chart and you'll understand it. Force velocity zones, we have that in this workout too. You get some starting strength. We've kind of gone over it, above 1.3. Got speed strength, that's between 1 and 1.3. If you read the article, I explain these in detail, especially explain them how they relate more to people to our age. So, and then that 0.75 to 1, that's to 1.0 meters per second. That is where maximum power happens. Accelerated strength is where we live. We're trying to get stronger and bigger And then sometimes we'll go to absolute strength, but even I will, because I'm going to compete, but I'm going to do it very rarely. I'm going to make sure that my 1 RM happens at the meet and not before. So velocity makes sure that I'm getting stronger, because I can test it with doing a 1 RM estimation, or I can test it by looking at at 0.5 meters per second, is that load getting higher and higher in things like squat. So read the article. All right, finally, here's our warm-up. I really want you to listen now. This is also how we're going to improve range of motion, because that's important too to physical fitness. I start out with a sled, a treadmill, or a jump rope, 1 to 3 minutes. Supersetting with isometric lunges with 3 sets of 20 to 30 second holds per leg, using a 70% maximum velocity contraction, because studies say that will give me a lot of, not only will I help my range of motion, but it will help my tendons as well, and it will help strengthen those joints muscularly as well. Goblet squats, 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds, even the Cossack or side lunges, holds. I don't all the time do the side lunges for isometric holds, but I'll do them for just body weight reps. Then make sure you're doing the hips, that you're doing some abduction, some adduction, some hip extension, hip flexion, hip internal rotation, hip external rotation. 1 to 2 sets of each for 10 to 15 reps or higher. You can do it standing, lying. Just make sure you're moving, guys. And then I use band and shoulder distraction, Donnie Thompson stuff to warm up my upper body, and I'll show you. Here is my lower body warm up. You'll see my goblet squats. You'll see me leaning to the right, leaning to the left, working on ankle mobility. You'll see me I'll hold the kettlebell up off, so I'm not leaning using my elbows on my knees, so that way my core gets engaged. Here I am using now I don't even use the TRX anymore. I use just a dumbbell. So I'm starting to load these pauses. And it's not only is it helping warm me up, it helps my back, because I am starting to strengthen my hip flexor as it's extended. So it's not really a stretch. It's just holding that contraction while it's fully lengthened. So there's a lot of studies out there. It'll help not only strengthen the muscle, but the muscle and the tendon connection. So musculo-tendon junction. That's it. So some of my warm-ups there. Here's the shoulder distraction. Just go look up Donnie Thompson's band distraction.
Yep.
So he does with this one. He does some rolls, as you see. He does it in both directions. This is such a great warm-up. Now he's going side to side. He'll do some punches, all the different directions. See him doing his punches and turning. Does both sides. Just spin. Do 10 reps on the arm swings, on crossing the body and the punches, and spend a few minutes on each side. And then down here, he works on. I'll show you. Is where he does his internal rotation.
Right? It'll take a little better.
So he wings. He's rotating at that his wrist. I also do it the other way, where it's my arm is actually externally rotated, and that works awesome too. So I'm working internal and external rotation. This is how I warm my upper body. It has been like a charm. So go look up Donnie Thompson Squat University and go watch these videos. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Go to gymwear.com for all of your velocity-based training needs. I hope now this workout is super simple. It is easy. And so, but if you have questions, email me, Travis@gymwear.com, and I'll answer any of your questions. This workout, if you've downloaded it, you had to, or you wouldn't be watching this video. But it was designed to, if you have velocity, to show you how I've used it to get in the best shape of my life at 52 years old. Well, not of my life, but since I was in my 30s. So I'm getting strong. I can jump again. It's been amazing. So go do it, guys. But if you don't have velocity, you can use RPE. There's all the different ways. You can still get in great shape. But I hope you're using velocity so you can really ensure that you are being safe as you get in shape. And you're maximizing results. Thank you. I'll see you next time, guys.